Hello, my name is Greg Hibbard. Today is the 15th of January, 2026, and today I want to give you a brief overview of my X3 Elite home gym. I started using my X3 almost 7 months ago, and I am overjoyed with the results. I love it so much, I bought an extra X3 Elite gym to loan out to friends, family, to see if the X3 system will be a good fit for them and make their life better like it has made mine. That being said, guys, I am reading off a script, so it might get pretty cringe, but unless I have notes, I'm going to forget the details, and I do not like to edit things. So this is going to be a rough and raw video, so please, again, bear with me. In this video, we are going to cover number one, we're going to look at the training area. Number two, we will cover the benefits I have received using the X3 Elite Gym. And we will also cover what the basic X3 training program philosophy consists of. That being said, I'm going to show you the training area. And just to let you guys know, I am a frugal guy, okay? And I'm going to turn the camera around so you're at my gym area. So again, I'm a pretty frugal guy. Between buying the X3 Elite gym and all the accessories, I spent less than $1,000. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour on what is all encompassed in this. Of course, we've got the X3 gym. You can see the box right there. The bar is right above it. I've got the quick start guide to the left of it. Of course, we've got the rubber bands right there. And I think, of course, the plate and the plate. So I think those are all the things that come in the X3 Elite home gym. Okay. Let's go ahead and press on to the next thing that you can't see, but you can see, and that is the app. And I'm walking up to a mock phone here, which will have the app on it. I also bought this stand, which comes in very, very handy. While I'm doing the workout, I have the phone with the app all ready to rock and roll so that I can put in the data and receive the results on the day's workout. That being said, guys, I'm not a technology guy. You probably figured it out from this video, but I want to tell you, not being a technology guy, I put about 15 minutes into understanding how to use the app, and I became relatively proficient. So if you're concerned about the learning curve along with the app, you're talking to a non-tech guy, and it was relatively easy. I do have a Droid. I don't know if it's different on an Apple phone, but my guess is they're probably the same, and they're not too challenging to learn. Just a little note there. The next thing I want to point out are the straps. Okay, so those are the lifting straps. You don't need those in the beginning, but eventually, as you get to the higher force bands, there is actually, in my opinion, a serious opportunity for injury. I've seen it happen before. A friend of mine actually let go of the bar during an exercise, and the bar went down, smashed his feet, hurt really bad. He was still able to move. However, the tops of his feet were yellow and purple, and it didn't look like a lot of fun. And that's kind of what influenced me to buy the straps. The type of straps that I bought they're called Cobra grips. There's different sizes, and the reason I bought those grips specifically is, to me, they were more simple. They would be less time consuming to do the job that a grip is supposed to do. And if you're not familiar with straps or grips, just do a YouTube search, and you'll be able to get an understanding as to what they're used for, and number two, what might be the best type of grip for you to buy. But I definitely would recommend buying the wrist straps. Right there, I'm not going to get into these too much, but I've got a collection of workout shirts right there, or what I call training shirts. I try to use the word training rather than workout because I believe in training more so than workout. The difference is a training is you're trying to build your body to become better, Workout refers more to the sweat and the difficulty and the challenging part, hence work out. But training is more about making your body work more efficiently. So that's why I try to use the word training rather than workout. We're going to talk about the biggest thing right in front of us, that being the pegboard. So when I bought my X3 Elite Gym, within 3 days I had bought the pegboard. It is a work in process. I haven't gotten it completed to where I want it yet, but the main goal for me was just to get a place for all my stuff, the entire gym to be placed so that it was easy to get to and more organized, which makes the training go that much more smooth. On the pegboard, I did buy hooks in an array of different sizes, 2-inch, 4-inch, and 6-inch. And for example, when you look at the box, which is essentially a shelf, you can see I had to get the bigger hooks to hold the box up, and the shelf there does come in rather handy for me. With that being said, you can see on mine I use a timer so I know how long my workouts are. I have 2 remotes for different things that I need to operate during the workout. And then finally, you'll see these coins right here. And it's kind of funny because I saw somebody make a post about, hey, they got their X3 coin. And for whatever reason, I bought 2 of these systems. And on each system, one of the coins comes off of the bar, which you can see there. So one of the coins stays on, one of them evidently falls off. That's a very common thing. So I like to collect my coins as I purchase the X3 Elite Gym systems. Other than that, though, I've had nothing wrong. I haven't had any rubber bands break or anything like that. So it's been a relatively durable system for me. Let's talk about the rugs here. Okay, so I've got one rug on top of another. You see the artillery guns right there. It was a little bit of a mistake. I was going to originally buy like a workout mat, and then I found these United States Army artillery guns. I got excited about that, so I bought that piece of carpet, and it really didn't perform the way I thought it would. It's relatively soft, and it's kind of smooth, a little bit slippery. And I started to work out with it, and I found it to be a great fit. I wanted to stretch out the workout area, so I got the maroon rug underneath, placed them both on top. And for certain stretching exercises, nothing that has to do with the X3 training, but more or less for my stretches, it really helps me get better stretches in. It's kind of cushion. I do a back roll, and which protects my back on the concrete, which is what the rugs are on top of. So that's what I use there. And then finally, I call it a stretching chair. This just happened to be a chair that was in my house, and I do certain stretches in that chair, mainly for my sciatic nerve. So I've got that there as well. Okay, that does kind of the complete tour, guys, of everything in my training area. I hope that I was relatively clear on that. If you have any questions, you can throw out a comment. I do my best with comments. I don't check my comments every day, so please be patient with me on the comments. And now let's go ahead and get into the next area, which is the benefits that I've gotten from the X3 Elite home gym system. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip them. There I am again. I'm going to place my notes on top of the chair. I'm going to put you down for a second. Stand by, guys. And I'm going to take the phone stand where I recommended you put your phone during the workout so that you can write down the results during your workout. I'll get that centered in a second. I'm going to grab the chair. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, center that. I got y'all crooked. All right, that's a little bit better. That way you can see part of the system while I'm talking to you. Okay, guys. Again, thank you for being patient with my notes and whatnot. But if I don't use notes, I will forget very important parts of what I'm getting out of this system. So the next part is my X3 benefits. And just to let you know, I want to explain to you my background, right? So I wrestled for about 14 years through elementary school to high school. I pushed some weights during that time, so I'm very familiar with a gym, what I would call a conventional gym with the barbells, bench press, squat racks, you name it. Went to a Gold's Gym, so if that gives you any flavor for what kind of gym I went to. Once I graduated high school, I joined the military. If you're not familiar with the military, they have what is called PT or physical training. At physical training, you're going to run 2 miles. You're going to do push-ups. You're going to do sit-ups. You're going to do frog kicks. You're going to do burpees. You're going to do a lot of exercises to keep your body maintained and ready to rock and roll. Then after getting out of the military, I got into construction. The type of construction I did is called poured in place concrete foundations. Just to give you an idea as to how difficult that was, in a standard day, I might walk anywhere between 2 to 5 miles, and I would lift anywhere between 26,000 pounds to 55,000 pounds. So it was a relatively strenuous day, and I would definitely account that as a workout. For about 10 years, I ran, and I would run anywhere between, say, 10 miles a week all the way up to about 30 miles a week. And again, I did that for about 10 years. I've always had some type of exercise routine that I do on my own in my home. Maybe that's why I was so attracted to the X3 Elite Home workout program. But I would do push-ups, I would do sit-ups, I did some pull-ups, and I would do my stretching routine. And then I was introduced to the X3 program. So with that said, I just want to give you a good understanding. I'm not new at this. So when I'm grading this system, I could grade it against a lot of different things I've done in the past. Okay, so I'm going to explain 4 things that I love about this system. The first thing I love is just overall healthier body. For example, when I look at myself in the mirror, my neck is obviously healthier. It looks stronger. I can see my veins in my neck a lot more. It seems to be getting bigger. The skin isn't as flabby. I'm 56 years old, so looking at skin now seems to be something that I pay attention to a lot more than I did when I was younger. But just overall, and I'm just talking about my neck now, but I'm talking about overall in the body. And when you start getting into the X3 program, you're going to hear a lot of people talking about simple things like, hey, if you want to know you're healthier or not, look at yourself in the mirror. And I have to say that that is true. And it doesn't matter how much you work out, just stay with the program. I think over time, you're always just going to continue looking healthier. So overall, the body looks healthier. The next, number 2 thing that I get benefit from this is I don't have joint pain. No joint pain. In every other exercise routine that I've ever had, you would always experience some low level, some high level. But with the X3 system, I haven't had joint pain. So that's a big win. The number 3 thing is no muscle soreness. That's a really big win. Because in some workout routines, my muscles would get so sore, 2 things would happen. Number 1, it would steal my mobility away from my body. Number 2 is it would make me almost fear the next workout, certainly not look forward to it. So again, number 3 is no sore muscles. The number 4 reason I like the X3 Elite Home Gym is the amount of time it requires to do a training session. So I have broken my different type of X3 trainings into 3 different trainings. I have a slow, a medium, and a fast. A slow training day is going to take about 36 minutes. A medium training day is going to take about 30 minutes. and a fast training day is going to take about 22 minutes. And understand, I coordinate a stretching routine while I'm doing my X3 training. So enough said on that. I think I'm missing one important note with that, though. So that was in regards to the economy of time. And I want to say this, that you could easily get, I don't want to say easily, you could get a training session done probably in 10 minutes as they advertise. I don't know how beneficial it would be. In other words, I think that whether I'm doing a slow, a medium, or fast training, I am getting value out of it. What I mean by that is I believe my body gets stronger every single time I train with the X3 Elite Home Gym. Okay, enough said. Let's press on. That part got a little cringy, a little bit uncomfortable because I wasn't clear on what I wanted to say. But let's continue. The next area I want to talk about is what is the basic X3 training philosophy and what does it consist of? So number one, I'm going to grab one of these cards. I probably should have talked about these cards earlier, but when you buy your training system, you're going to get these cards, and then you're going to see here, this is a push day, and these are the 4 exercises you're going to do on a push day. That's it. That's the simple system, okay? Now let's turn the card. Look at this. This is a pull day. On a pull day, you're going to do these 4 exercises. That's it. You're going to do these 4 exercises, and then you're going to walk away from your X3 Elite Home Gym for the day. That's it. If you want to go after it and get more workout that day, obviously you can. But the simple system is 4 exercises each day. All right, so there's that. Now, the way the system is programmed is you do a push day, you do a pull day, and then you take a rest day. Now, I happen to stretch on my rest day, but it's a relatively simple program. I'm not going to say it's easy because you've got to push yourself. That's the one thing with any training or workout for that matter, is you're going to have to push yourself. That's part of the deal. So I can't make it easy for you, but I can make it simple. Okay, so that's part one, the training, the push and pull exercises. Okay, going to the next step, page here. Number 2, you need to get 10,000 steps in a day to follow the program. So that's 10,000 steps or more. And by the way, here's a fun little fact, and we're going to talk about dieting next, but if you're going through a fast, and the X3 program does recommend fasting because it's very, very effective, but if you walk or you're getting in steps, I don't care, go to the road, go on a nature trail somewhere, but as long as you are walking, my experience has been I am not hungry. So if I'm ever going through a period of fasting and I begin to crave food, if I can swing it, I'll go on a walk. Or if whatever activity I'm doing doesn't stop the craving of wanting to eat food, then I'll go on a walk. And I stop thinking about wanting to eat food. I become not hungry is my point, and I'm getting more steps in. It's very common for me to get 17,000 steps in a day. On a high range, I might get up to 31,000 steps. My high step day is 31,000 steps in one day. But I'm not hungry as long as I'm stepping. The last thing I want to talk about is dieting. Okay, it promotes good diet. More than anything to me, it promotes, your pancreas is right about where my hand is right here. Maybe it's a little lower or a little bit higher. I don't know exactly, but this is the general area your pancreas is in, and your pancreas creates insulin. It has something to do with insulin. I'm not a doctor, okay? But it has something to do with insulin. And once you begin to learn the diet and the importance of fasting and eating the right foods and understanding the difference between protein and how healthy it is for you and how it helps your body grow, and how we've got to be careful with carbohydrates and the different carbohydrates that are out there. This is what's going to allow you to lose a lot of weight, and it's going to put you in really, really good shape. But that protein thing, I can't say enough about the protein. In other words, if you're out there and you're trying to make your body stronger, you'd better begin to understand about protein, because if you are doing any kind of workout or training and you're not consuming protein, I don't think your body can even become stronger. So that's been a big point that they've made in this program, and I'm getting a lot of benefit just from that diet understanding. So my last point in this area is I want to say this. My advice is to start with the basics and focus on the basics until training the until training the X3 exercises does not feel awkward. Now, me saying that sounds awkward, but my point is that stick with the original program before you start looking into adding accessories to your workout program. There's going to be a certain amount of awkwardness that you're going to have to go through. Just like any other type of workout or training routine, you're going to have some awkwardness. And I would say give yourself up to at least a month. You're going to find out that the awkwardness, like 99% of it, is just going to go away, and you're going to understand how to do these movements, and your body is going to become very, very strong. And I almost forgot. Before I wrap up, I just thought of something that's really, really big, and I need to add it to these notes, but I forgot to put it in there. And that is, and this is going to go under the area of the benefits that I've received from the X3 program. My body has been suffering with certain pain issues, like my rotator cuffs and especially my back. And I would describe it as quite literally my body healing from doing the X3 Elite Gym. My back would hurt just about always. I would have to consider certain movements that I could or could not do because of my back. And that issue is almost 100% resolved. And one other point I'd like to make with that is, again, I'm 56 years old, and my body has not felt this good since I was maybe 25 years old. Maybe even younger. So, and I don't know what it is about this particular training method, but I think it has to do with the fact that when you're doing the motions, it makes you keep form and use your muscles at the same time. And it has corrected a lot of what I would have called injuries that your body's just going to naturally accumulate. So the X3 system is, I believe, healing my body by doing the routine. And I think that's the number one. It's crazy I didn't put them in my notes. It's the number one reason I like this system. I used to have to live with a certain level of soreness, and now that's gone. Okay? So I'm kind of glad I remembered that at the very end here. But let me do the wrap up here. If you want help, there are many trainers you can hire to help you in your X3 adventure. You can find these guys on Facebook. Just go to the X3 Bar group, and you'll see, and this is a good source of motivation, but you're going to see these guys. The guys that I'm familiar with is Johan, a guy named Kevin, Dan, Daniel, and Julian. All seem like super nice guys. Some of them have even reached out to me. They wanted to help critique some of the things that I was doing, because I will put videos on the the X3 Bar group thing there on Facebook. And these guys will critique you and kind of give you some pointers on what you may or may not want to do to make a better workout. So, and then finally, you can find Bar Jaquish. It's a hard name for me to pronounce. And he's the inventor. He's got his medical license, so he understands the science, can explain the science behind what's going on here. And he's a promoter of the X3 system, obviously. But a lot of his videos you can find on YouTube. And I recommend going through there if you have any curiosity to understand more, in regards to this workout. It's just a great resource. So, guys, that is my whole thing with the X3 Elite home gym system. Hopefully this is something that can get you started. I kept this video under 30 minutes, so I thought it was going to be a lot shorter, but this is just to get you going, and hopefully this will be helpful for you. Again, my name's Greg Hibbard. I hope that your X3 Elite gym or home gym is going to work out for you as well as it's worked out for me. See ya.